Hi. So now I'm gonna talk about femcels and how ridiculous this whole discussions of them can be. I mean, if you just look out in reality and see how the sexual market looks like, anyone with half a brain understands that it's pretty much impossible for a woman to be an incel or involuntarily celibate. No, any woman can easily get sex, no matter how ugly, failed, or pathetic she might be. She can always get it, pretty much. I mean, sure, there can be extreme exceptions, like if she is in an environment where she is like forced by her people in her surroundings and stuff like that to not have sex, they forbid her to have sex, such extreme situations could exist where she could actually be a femcel, but otherwise, like, it's not possible, basically. No, any woman can easily get sex. And when you look at these women who claims to be femcels, like, it's pretty much always the case that they have a massive amount of sexual experiences, and they may very likely have sex now, currently. They go on dates, they go on hookups, and they may even have boyfriends. It's so ridiculous. And the issue is never that they can't get anything. Instead, it's just that they can't get what they want. Something that fulfills their high standards. And this is not being an incel. Like, a femcel is a female incel. That's what it's supposed to be. You can't just redefine it and claim that it's something else. But these women who claims to be femcels, like, they know they can get sex. Like, they just claim to be femcels anyway. Since they don't at all fit the real definition, they instead just try to change the definition into meaning something else. Something that includes their luxury problems, their luxury issues. And this is just a very disgusting appropriation of the whole incel condition, where you just try to neutralize the concept and they try to make it not mean anything serious, but they just try to have it include their complete luxury problems. Their issues that are just complete luxury issues in comparison to what real incel men experience. And this is very stupid. And then there are those people who come with these claims that it could be about women not being able to find someone that fulfills their high standards because, men call themselves incels despite being able to pay for sex. So therefore, since they can call themselves incels because of that, then women should be able to call themselves femcels despite being able to get sex and just not being able to get something that fills their high standards. And this comparison is so stupid. It's obviously not at all the same thing. Just because you have one exception to the rule, when it comes to paying for sex, it doesn't mean that you can have any exceptions you want. It doesn't mean that anyone can be called incels, with any kind of exceptions, with any kind of rules, that you can always call yourself an incel just because, no matter what state you were in, just because this one exception with paying for sex exists. Like, it's so stupid. You can't do it like that. It's obviously not at all the same thing. You're only being able to pay for sex and not being able to get anything at all is obviously not at all the same thing as just not being able to find someone that fulfills your high standards and having an enormous amount of access to unpaid sex like women have. It's complete luxury in comparison. It's a complete luxury problem. And So yeah, that argument is very stupid. And also, people can claim that they make these absurd comparisons with where they claim that, yeah, women are hypergamous by nature, so you gotta understand that, and therefore them not being able to get something that fulfills their high standards is as bad as men not being able to get anything at all, and that this is not being able to get anything at all. So you can compare these things, which is ridiculous. Those are not at all the same thing. Like, not being able to fulfill your natural urges to an enormous degree, a woman not being able to fulfill her natural hypergamous nature to an enormous degree, is not at all the same thing as a guy not being able to get any sex at all. Like, not being able to act on his urges at all. Like, it's not at all the same thing. You know, the male equivalent of women's hypergamy is to have sex with many different women. And so a woman's ability to act on her hypergamy is basically like a man's ability to act on his will to have sex with many people. And so a woman can act on her hypergamous nature to an enormous degree, and still, if she's still complaining, it's ridiculous. And you know, a woman complaining over how she can't find someone that fulfills her high standards is basically like a Chad complaining over how he can only have sex with 300 women in a year when he wants to have it with 500. You know, it's ridiculous to compare it with a man not being able to get anything at all. Like, it makes no sense. It's an absurd comparison. So this whole thing with trying to compare women in this way, trying to claim that just because women are hypergamous by nature, it's as bad for her not being able to get something that fulfills her high standards, it's as bad as a man being an incel. Like, no, it is not as bad. It's a complete luxury problem. It's an absurd comparison. You can't do it like that. So, yeah. This whole thing with femcels is ridiculous. This whole comparisons they make, this appropriation of the whole incel condition is very stupid. Femcels don't exist, basically. Yeah, it's pretty much impossible for a woman to be a femcel, be an incel, being involuntarily celibate. So just stop talking like this, okay? Well, yeah, that's it. Bye.